G'day traders, John from Crypto Candlestick Trading, just doing an update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Just looking at Bitcoin here now, we see there's a little bit of accumulation that's happened during this rise, and even during this decline here, we've got a little bit of accumulation, but we've got a lot more distribution than accumulation. But what we can see here, we've gone up above the major moving averages, and we've pushed up, but we've had a sell off there, sell off. There's a lot of wicks up here, and even if we have a look at these, like these larger green candles here. So this one here, for example, even though that was like a pop-off kind of volume, there was like 30%, 35, 40% of people that sold out. So all this green volume here was not all buyers, it was a portion seller. And then we've got the same again over here. We've got about 45% over here that have sold on increased volume. And then we've got a perfect looking doji on increased volume. And then usually when we've got, if we're trading somewhere near the top, and the way we tell the top, is when we've got stochastics in the overbought area. That's one way that we can tell the top. And so here we've kind of, reached the top, and here we've reached another top. But we can see here that, this advance here was considerably a lot more larger than this one here. But here we are looking at the top. So we can see that we've got selling at the top here as well, even though we're in overbought condition. But also we've got like an engulfing candle pattern that happens at the top. And I, like pretty much know, like I don't like to trade candlestick patterns at the top, especially when they're overbought conditions, and this kind of action happening here. This to me represents some sort of a sell-off. And so as soon as I saw this here, it didn't actually make me think of strength. It made me think of weakness, and so straight away we get a sell-off in the markets. However, this one here, this is the rocket booster engulfing, closing above three moving averages now at this point. I'll just open that up a little bit more so we can see it a bit better. And then, but the only problem is we're below the 21-day moving average, and here we popped above it for a short time, and now we're back below it again. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. But I'll just there's a couple more things that I just want to show you as well, and one of them would be that we have a very clear line of divergence that is happening here in this market. So we can see here that we've got strength coming out of the market while it's being pushed higher by retail traders. And so this kind of selling that's up here, like retail traders are buying it, while the institutional sellers are selling. They're taking top dollar, and I don't know where the top dollar is going to be, but obviously they think that this is somewhere in the high, so they're selling up here and looking for the decline. But in this, let's just go through the weekly chart. I'll get rid of those drawings. We'll have a quick look at the weekly chart. And so here we've got like 4 wicks up the top here, and we've come down. So, we're down the bottom here. We've gone up, pushed, and we've got now we're bouncing on the 200, and previous resistance becomes new support. But, if we have a look at this exuberance right from the start, I do like this reversal here. I do like this buying coming back here, but this is exuberance. Like right from the start, this rally was spoilt by this candle here. And, so now we can kind of see the result that we're getting from this candle that's happened here on the weekly chart. All right, so that's probably around about it for Bitcoin. There's still divergence on the weekly chart. We've got a low and a high, and we've got a high and a low. And have a look at the volume that's not happening here with Bitcoin. Like if this was a true bull rally, we would see volume popping. We'd see all the other cryptos going well, and it's just not happening at this stage here. So to me, I need to sit on the sidelines and wait. I need to do my time. This here is not buying opportunities for me. Okay, anyway, traders, just looking through, I just want to go through a few of these other cryptos just so I can kind of just explain a couple of things that I noticed. And one of them is this one here, Bancor. So this one here was released 2017, late 2017, or about mid 2017, I think. And it went up, in flying colors. It, went really, really well. Looking at these lows from down here, what's that? It's about 20, and even if we're above the 50, and that is about 50 cents. So 50 cents all the way up to around about $9.70. And then we've come back down here and we're just flatlined. So it was around here somewhere where actually I think America made it illegal for Americans to own this one. But anyway, Bancor have now actually gone and rebranded themselves, or not rebranded themselves, but redone a few things in order for them to get recognized and to attract the same sort of investors that were here before back into this market. One thing I can see, and I just want to point this out, we can see that, the volume here is just like non-existent pretty much. But I just want to show you a couple of things here. So this is this is typical of institutional investors to do something like this. So we've come down the lows here. So straight away, we can see, oh, gee, there's institutional sponsorship here. We've got buyers, from big money that are accumulating down in these lows, and they don't want to be seen. So what they do is they'll be buying heavily here while everyone else is selling, and they'll say, okay, below these lows here, anyone that wants to sell below that, we're taking it, no matter how many it is. Now we'll take that. So that's what they keep on doing. They just keep on, buying as the retail traders are selling. Then we go across here, we're getting engulfing, but it didn't close above the major moving averages. It was still under the 50. So to me, that was no good. And we come back down, and we go across here. So this is the part that makes me, or the part that I wanted to explain, because this is pretty typical. If we get the end of a run, that's if this is going to be the end of the run, we are oversold, which basically means that there's been a withdrawal of money and energy from the market. Now we want to be putting some back into it. But this here, so let's just say that a lot of people were thinking of going short here. So they would have gone short here with their stops just above the previous high here, or just above that previous high there. And as you can see from that line, that shooting star actually did go above that. So anyone that was in a short position and had their stops here or above this previous high here, they got taken out by this one foul swoop of a day right here. Then so this is big money orchestrating this. This isn't retail traders doing this. This is big money getting rid of all the short sellers here, and anyone that was buying with their stops below here, they're getting rid of all the longs with their stop losses below here. So basically, all they've done is clean up the marketplace so that they can advance this market without having all these other people that were down here selling halfway up to slow down the momentum of this potential rally that could be happening. Now, I would like to see this kind of setup when Bitcoin is looking fantastic, but Bitcoin's not looking fantastic. So this here to me, it's almost like the amateur of the it's almost like the amateurs are like building up here in order for a takeoff. But the only problem is that Bitcoin should be looking fantastic before we are buying this one here. And the thing is, we can't really be buying this one here now anyway. And we're getting engulfing here, and so far we've closed off around about 30%, but we haven't closed yet because today is Monday, and I don't even think. Yep. So today being Monday, so that's Sunday. So this one here, we don't actually have a day yet, so this will probably turn up tonight when the US market opens. Okay, so moving on, I just wanted to explain that. So long wick down here, this was orchestrated. So basically, anyone that had stop losses just above or just below, it's gone. So now they're free to run without any massive selling that's on the going on the way up. Just moving on here. So now with NIA, so we can see there's a volume accumulation here. Definitely volume accumulation that's happening here. And looking down on these lows, so we've got a low here. We've almost got like a double bottom low. One thing that I can see here as well, I just drew a line there before. So we've got the lows here. We've got a double bottom low, and have a look at the result. Perfect. And then we come back down, and we've gone out and we've taken any stop losses that were remotely below this low here, and we've taken off. But we've got a wick here, a wick here, and a wick here. So this almost says to me that any pushing or trying an attempt at the rally is not successful. Let's just have a look at this one more thing I want to look at over here. So we got previous support, a little bit of churning over there, and we got resistance here, not so much just there yet. Anyway, I just wanted to point that out with NIA. I'll just have a look at the weekly chart with NIA. And as we can see, that's grouping up very nicely down here, down the bottom. I do like that. I do like the way it's just come from all the way up there, all the way down to here. This would not surprise me if soon we're going to be coming out of these lows and we're going to be looking at heading up again. But anyway, I'm not in any mad rush to be forecasting that just yet, because it hasn't really shown it. Even though we do have accumulation that's happening down in these lows, we don't have any major breakouts just at this stage yet. So NIA is one of those ones that I'm definitely looking at, and there is definitely accumulation that's happening with NIA. That's just what it looked like on the weekly chart there. So this is it on the daily chart here. So, as we can see, there's good volume accumulation that's happened down here. We've got perfect looking dojis there, a nice breakout. We'll pull back, but we're back below the major moving averages. So this to me is, I'm really hoping like this accumulation carries on, because I would really like to be buying this somewhere, like around the $1.14, $1.13 mark, or even lower. If it goes below $1, I'd be very happy with this one if it went below $1. Be able to accumulate a lot. Eight. Another one with eight. If you have a look at the accumulation that's happening here, we're in oversold, big accumulation, and here we've got a test and another test here. So anyone that's got the stop losses up here, any short sellers, they're gone. They're just been taken out. So now in this scenario here, there's nothing to buy. But looking at potential, closing above the 50 there, like if it comes down and flattens out a little bit, but it's still making lower highs and lower lows. So this is still definitely in a downtrend, even though we are seeing accumulation here. So basically, big money are accumulating this and just holding it and holding it and holding it and waiting until we get a big rally up. Let's have a look at Solana. So Solana actually on the daily chart looks pretty good. So we're all the way down here at around about, where was it, $8? That's $13. I don't know where I got my $8 from. That's $8 there. $8 net back there, $13 here. So I've got a low, a higher low, and a higher high. Massive big reversal here though. And have a look at this accumulation that we can see here that happened, just before this run. Nice accumulation that's happened there, before this and as it increased. And actually, we could even possibly get this is another thing I was looking at as well. So the extension, the Fibonacci extension from the low all the way to the high. So that being 0, this being 1, and the halfway mark is 50%. So from the low to the high, it pulled back exactly 50% to there. So we could actually get a bounce from here. Who knows? We are in oversold. If we do get a bounce from here, that will be another potential rally that we'll be seeing for Solana. Another thing that I would like to be keeping an eye on as well is that downtrend line to be broken. Something like that. Okay, let's move on. Actually, we'll just have a look at this on the weekly chart. We'll get rid of those drawings and look on the weekly chart and see what it looks like. So here we are. Yeah, I don't like this here. So, we've got three, we've got perfect looking doji, yep, and a nice advance, which is good. And then we've gone all the way back up and we've, above the major moving average. But we're sold off 40% on this week, 40%. And now we've got 3 red days weeks and a potential green. This, it's not exactly the way a bull market starts. I like this sort of thing here, but above all the moving averages. This here with the big wick here, I don't like it. It's, that to me, the only reason why I don't like it is because this says to me it's selling. They're selling. People bought and then it sold off. So no, sorry Solana, can't do. Looking at that on the daily chart again. So here we got a nice little advance, spinning top. This is not how a bull market starts. With a market. And then on top of that, all this sideways choppy action. I know sometimes it will come back here, wait for the 50 to cross the 200, but now all these moving averages are almost in order. We just need the 9 to get above the 21, and then we're good. And but anyway, we'll just have to wait and see if we do get it closed above that with increased volume. If we do, I'll probably end up having a look at it. Solana. Oh, sorry, Ripple. So even with Ripple, this is exuberance. Have a look at all these other candles and then look at this one here. It's gone all the way up and it's sold off about 30%, and this is the result we get from it. With these kind of candles, I usually get at least a 50% pullback. So this could have been done by now. I don't know, but and I know another thing. The SEC in the States have or are taking Ripple back to court because they want to have another crack, and they reckon they found some more evidence which is false, but they just want to delay it. Stellar Lumens, and same with Stellar Lumens. Stellar Lumens is Ripple's little brother, so they kind of act. This is going back to Ripple, then this is going back to Stellar Lumens. So they look very similar to each other, but here we've gone up and pulled back. Close. It's not 50%, but it's pretty close. Every time we've gone up there, it's just produced wicks and shooting stars, and then coming back down. That's a beautiful full body engulfing closing below. Looking at that there, but we did have some accumulation back in this is the accumulation that I'm looking for, and breaking above the major moving averages, coming back into these lows here. I want to be buying into these ones here when we see, good advancing. ADA, let's have a look at ADA. So here we've got exuberance, and then have a look at the result. It's gone back almost, whatever the exuberance was, it's come back that same again. But here we've got nice accumulation that's happened here. So we've got to remember that this big money that's accumulated in here, they haven't finished yet. This is retail traders, or actually could even be institutional traders trying to encourage retail traders to buy while they start selling. And then this is what happens. That's on the daily chart. Let's have a look at the weekly chart. Yep, same again. So look at that. That's a nice closing down. This here is buying, double bottom is buying, but have a look at the selling that happened just up here. And now we're confirming more of a decline from here than what we had before. And another thing that I can see here that I actually did, so this is the divergence that I was looking at on Bitcoin, but I can see that divergence here on this one here as well, on ADA. So here we had that a nice big advance here, and it was strong. And here we had a decline. So there was weakness in the market while it was still advancing. This is retail traders buying, buying, buying. And have a look at this here. Small candle, small candle, small candle, bang, exuberance. And then this is the result you get from exuberance. So, that to me, this is what happens. So don't buy, if you see a run where it's have, 4 or 5 green candles and then you got the biggest one at the end, don't buy it. Chances are, well, it's got around about 8 out of 10 chance of going the wrong way. Anyway, that's ADA. I am a heavy believer in ADA. I will be definitely dollar cost averaging more into ADA as time advances. Here we are. So ADA, we're down in the lows here. Very tight trading. Here we had a nice big push up and it's been rejected. Now below all the moving averages on the daily and we're in oversold. This could be oversold for a while. But we are running out of volume. Like, volume is declining. So KNC. All right, so this is one I've just kind of been looking at a little bit. I think there's only 14 million of these ones in there. So there's a few people that got their eye on this one, think it's going to do big guns, great things. So here we can see there is accumulation here, but there is also selling in here. But, the accumulation certainly dominates. But here we tried to get above the 200, didn't work. And again, didn't work. And here we did, but it's a shooting star. We've gone up again, and now look at this massive, massive sell-off. And here we're arguing to see whether we're going to be going below for further decline or up to see if we're going to advance. Let's just have a quick look at this one to see what it's done in history. Yeah, well, actually, no, that's not too bad. So it's $5.80 and it's 68 cents. So I haven't really found out too much about this project here. I went through these and I was having a look at the volume on there, and the accumulation I thought was good. Now I'll go back there one more time. Just have a look at this. When we are heading up to the top, and we see exuberance at the top, and we're overbought conditions and all that sort of stuff, what we need to do is be looking at selling. And so here's a classic example why we would sell. Here I can see there's some definite signs here to tell me to get out, and like 50%, 100%, but we need to be selling when we're in these kind of conditions and in these sort of areas. Like if we're going to double top and we've gone up above that, and then we've got a shooting star, massive shooting star, and then have a look at what happened. That's $4.52, and 2 weeks later we reached a low of $1.16. So all that time climbing it, and then 2 weeks to make sure to get the decline. So this here definitely should be sold. We need to be watching the markets very, very closely when we've got especially massive profits to protect, so that we can get out of these ones as best we can before the decline. Matic, I won't go on for much longer. I'm already 18 minutes in. So Matic here, I really like Matic. We're only at 67 cents at the moment. This is holding its gains very, very well. This one's here. This one is in competition with Ethereum. It's $2.80, somewhere around there, $2.90, and we're only down to 67 cents. So the gains for this one here have been held exceptionally well, which would make me say that, or make me think that when this takes off, this will be one of the ones that's going to, I wouldn't say steal the show, but it will be in with the leaders. If this breaks out around about the same time when Bitcoin breaks out for real, we wouldn't be on this one here, because this one here could definitely take off. Big money's in this one. They're holding their gains. They're not selling. And Link, let's have a look at Link. So what do we do? Look at the 2 weeks to get all the way from up there to down there. It's amazing. That's $15, $52 down to 15. So from 2 weeks, and that's a massive exuberant candle all the way up to there. Anyway, having a look here, we've got flat trading, and let's just have a look at the daily chart to see what we're doing there, because I want to see. I got these because we are seeing a little bit of accumulation happening down in these areas, and I just want to see that. Yep, look at that accumulation that's happening there. That's pretty good. And here we've got a nice big solid close above and engulfing. Nice big solid close. If we get another engulfing here, we can pretty much say that Link might go for a run. You know, like that. I do like this here. I want to see more. You know, the next one here, that could actually do something. I'll put that one up there. V chain. So V chain, yep. So that looks pretty sloppy actually. Here we've had the massive buying coming back in. Look at that, the biggest volume. You know, all the way down, all the way back, bought back about 60%, and this is the result you get from it. You know, this run might not even be finished because of this result here. Now let's have a look at the weekly chart on V chain. Oh, look at that. Looks like big selling too, though, on the weekly chart. I always like to go the weekly chart being more important than the daily chart because big money make all the decisions, majority of the decisions on the weekly chart when they decide whether they're going to start accumulating or. Okay, so let's have a look at VeChain. Like that was 27 cents and now it's 1.7 cents. You know, and man, there's some very, very big uses for VeChain. So this is definitely not dead in the water. This is and this is on the weekly chart too, and we can definitely see there's accumulation happening there as well. So anyway, like it hasn't popped out yet or anything like that. You know, this is nice type trading. This is where we accumulate. You know, back here is where we accumulate, and up here is where we start selling. So, or you know, like somewhere up there anyway. Like, have a look at that exuberant candle. Like that's just madness, absolute madness. But anyway, I love it because it gives me a sign. It tells me something. And down here, you know, all this tight trading, this tells me something too. You know, like this is when we accumulate. This is when we get out. All right, XDC, let's have a look at that one. So this one here, I really want to get a piece of this action here, but I really, I'm not desperate to jump in there at this stage here, but I do think that this one here could do some very big things because this is actually helping, and I don't like it, but this is actually helping the central banks distribute their one world currency or whatever it is they're trying to do. So as much as I don't like it, there is money to be made here. You know, so we're buying into this here. You know, this here is small chickens, small potatoes. This could turn out to be something absolutely massive with this kind of thing. XDC teaming up with the Federal Reserve to distribute coin. So anyway, also, you know, like they're playing a pretty big part in it anyway. So, but we can also see that there's accumulation, massive accumulation that's happening down in these areas here. So, all right, traders, I'll probably leave it there. Well, there's a couple more that I could go through, but all right, I'll leave it there. Okay, traders, I hope you have a good week. And if you have any questions with your charts, please let me know. More than happy to talk about charts. Okay, talk to you again soon, traders. See ya.